Welcome back, and for this versus battle, we're going to be looking at Thanos versus Darkseid. Why? I've just seen so much internet conjecture over this one, and this should pretty much be an open and shut case, but let's not do that. Let's actually look at both characters and then come to a final decision, even though we know who the winner should be. So, in this corner, whatever, forget all of that. Darkseid is the originator of Thanos. Darkseid was created by Jack Kirby, and then in the same vein of Darkseid, Jim Starlin created Thanos. Now, when Jim Starlin gets back to DC, he actually creates another character in the vein of Thanos, and that was Mongol. So we see how these things work. But Darkseid's created to be the ultimate evil force for the fourth world, which initially was supposed to be separate from the DC universe. However, once the DC universe absorbs the fourth world into it, Darkseid becomes this ultimate force of evil for the DC universe. Now, something else that a lot of people may not be aware of, the fourth world, the Apocalypse, New Genesis, they exist outside of the actual DC universe. All those multiverses, yeah, Thanos and his people, they exist outside of it. So anytime there's a crisis or there's a reboot, they're never affected by this. Okay, they rarely show that, hey, we realized this was different before, and they may have different trappings, but that's more of how they're perceived by the worlds that they come to. So they don't change. They're outside of this, and anytime that they're going to these Earths, they're actually entering into a different dimension. So that's Darkseid. Thanos. Thanos is a fanboy's dream. This is the guy who puts together all of these elaborate plans, and well, he puts together a lot of elaborate plans. He gets the Cosmic Cube, he gets the Infinity Gauntlet, he'll go get this, he'll go get that, but you know, he always comes up with some scheme, and hey, we all love a good schemer, right? Now, he's very good at this, very smart, you know, and if you just like to see elaborate things play out and see him smack the Hulk around a few times, then hey, there you go. You got a good sense, you've got a good scene for you at this point. Now, usually, as a rule of thumb, the copy, and I don't necessarily want to call Thanos a copy, or analog, is never as good as the original. Sorry to say, it's pretty much along the same lines here. See, Thanos on his own against Darkseid he's just no match for Darkseid. Okay, Thanos has to achieve all of these things by acquiring other power, where Darkseid pretty much does things on his own. He's enough trouble by himself. He's looking to get the anti-life equation so he can control all life, but just on his own, Darkseid usually gives people more than they can handle. Another thing we also look at with Thanos is that he gets the Infinity Gauntlet and he loses. Now, the Infinity Gauntlet in the Marvel Universe makes him all-powerful. There is no reason why he should lose. There's no reason why anybody should think they could somehow snatch that gauntlet off of his hand and end him. You know, you've got an all-powerful weapon, you know, an all-powerful device. Why does everybody believe they can beat you? One of the panels that I really enjoyed was looking at Adam Warlock telling that Thanos has some sort of failsafe or a defect, if you will, inside of him that lets him lose. That his schemes will always go awry because once he has achieved them, he's going to undo them. He'll make some mistake and he'll let the heroes get back into it or somebody else back into it. And that seems to be his raison d'etre. He comes in, he gets whatever power, he accomplishes it, and then he loses it all through some nonsense or other. Now, if we just wanted to have a straight-up battle, let's say you want to have Darkseid versus Thanos, you can even give Thanos the Infinity Gauntlet. Darkseid is going to prevail. Why? A couple of things. Darkseid's able to open boom tubes at will. He could easily transport Thanos wherever he wants, and he's able to open boom tubes into different universes, different dimensions. Whether you agree with it or not, the Infinity Gauntlet only works in the Marvel Universe. So Thanos could come after Darkseid and he could just literally open up a boom tube and send him someplace else. That also being said, many people theorize that Darkseid is not the actual person that you see when he's fighting, that is an, and I hate to say this, that this is an avatar of Darkseid, which I've never agreed with. You know, that's more of like, oh, you didn't beat me, you beat my action figure or something. Unless it's specifically stated in the story, we have to presume that that is Darkseid. But if you actually got a chance to read Final Crisis number 7, you got to see what Darkseid's full form looks like. It's an all-encompassing energy. And we all know how it works with energy. Energy can't be destroyed. The best it can do is be dispersed. So, you know, Thanos would have a really uphill battle because in any universe, Darkseid is still going to be as powerful as he is. Thanos would be limited to the Marvel Universe, and he would need the Infinity Gauntlet. And even then, Darkseid could throw how many different avatars at him before he boom tubes him someplace, and then the game is over. So, unfortunately, if you're a Thanos fanboy, he's just not going to pick this one up. But like I said, the copy is usually not as, well, it's usually inferior to the original. See you next time.